Today we're going to show you how to install these LED kick plates. They're real easy to get off of eBay. I think I paid like $120 for mine, free shipping. And we're going to go ahead and change them out. And we'll guide you step by step on how to actually build your own connector. Oh, I'm getting lost here. To where you don't have to plug into the harness, because most likely if your car did not come with these pre-installed, you do not have the harness. So we'll show you how it's done. One additional component that should be used in tapping into the stock wires to make these LED light up is this that we just picked up at your local parts store. I used O'Reilly's, and it's called OReilly Circuit. Hopefully it's coming in clear on the screen. And what this does is basically you tap into any of your fuses into the fuse panel, and we'll show you that here in a bit. And then you'd be able to, see if I can get a good focus here, still use the stock fuse for whatever that component was, in addition to having a tap to where you could wire in whatever you need. And it comes with a bunch of different amperage rating fuses so that you could get the right amperage coming out of the new circuit that you're about to add. So this is pretty nifty, and it's going to come in very handy, and we'll show you how to put that in. Okay, step one of the installation is we're going to wrap your hands around the stock panel kick plate and just pull straight up, and it'll pop right out. You can see the different tabs here, here, and this last one here. So we'll just pop it out, set it to the side. Okay. Next we take our LED panel for the driver's side. We're starting with the driver's side, and we're going to pull that connector out and cut it so that we can have clean wires to where we can attach heads to, so we can tap into our new circuit. Okay. Next we're going to peel back this weather strip by lifting the lip and gently and carefully pulling it downwards right about to that point. That's really all you need so that we can get behind this switch right here.
So you just push out.
We pop this back panel.
Then reach in here and pull out the harness from that door switch.
Very good. And that is the harness that we unplugged off of this switch right here.
Okay.
Just get a good close-up of the wire switch. Okay.
Now, when we wire in the LEDs, the black wire on the LEDs needs to connect to the black wire on the door switch. If you've watched the 2010 to 2012 video, you've noticed that there's a 2-wire connection where this is a 3. If you attempt to wire in the LED door sills as you would in the 2010 to 2012, your door sills will light up, but either your window or your LED door open indicator on your dash and your overhead lamps won't work. So what you have to do is tap black wire to black, and then plus 12 volts to the red wire.
Very good. Okay, we tapped into the ground wire, and once we put our connector on there, we plugged the harness back into that switch, and we reattached the weather stripping and made sure that it had a nice tight fit. And you can see that the length of the wire is approximately that long, just to give us a little bit of wiggle room for when we want to install.
And then another important piece is after you tap your wire, you want to perform a simple test. You want to push the door switch, make sure that the window extends back up, and make sure on the dash that the open door indicator comes off and on. And there you go. And the overhead lamps by default will stay lit for a while after the door is closed until you put the key in the ignition, so the lights won't turn on and off instantly. Right. But as long as the indicator on the dash and the window is working,
that should be, we're in good shape.
Then you're fine.
We haven't messed anything up. Very good.
Okay.
Next, take a coil of red wire and cut off about 4 to 5 foot length so that we can get from the location of the LED, wrap it around through the bottom of the dashboard and outside of the fuse panel.
So the wiring harness extends up through this kick panel behind the hood release, goes up the side where the dead pedal is, all the way up to the back of the dash, far up in the back. And this is the wiring harness route where we're going to run the power wire for the driver's side right in here along the factory harness, and then we'll zip tie it down. But to start, take your wire, push it up through the dash. There's a plastic and metal mounting tab far in the back of the, you can see my thumb there. It's right here. Go ahead and run your wire up behind that, over the top of that loop. And go ahead and pull yourself out a length of wire. And then route the rest back behind the plastic panels.
It's kind of dark back there. I can't get it very well. We'll show you all in a minute. Basically, we're tucking the wire inside that plastic panel over to the left of the dead pedal. Is that right?
Correct, and it goes underneath it. So now we've got it wrapped all the way around. It's tucked up behind. And there we go. So now we can see where it comes in and out.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, next, and this is perfectly preferential as to how you want to make the connection, but you'd want to color match black to black and red to red. So make your connection as your next step. Okay, we've made our connections right there, and we've put some zip ties just to clean it up a bit and not have it loose. And we now need to just pop the new panel in, the new kick plate rather. It is a direct fit. You just make sure that the clips click in. And hear that click.
There we go.
Very good. And that takes care of the driver's side for connection, and now we're going to start on the passenger side, and we're going to run a wire, a positive lead, over through the dashboard, and we'll go into that in a little bit. And then we'll add the circuit at the very end and make sure that it comes on. And just a brief update on the passenger side, it's really generally the exact same as the driver's side, where we popped off the old kick panel, peeled back the weather strip, unplugged the connector for the switch, the door switch, tapped into the wires for the LED panel as well, and made our connections. And the only addition to it is that we needed to route the wire back under this kick panel here on the right foot. We went underneath the dashboard. And do you want to take this camera and just kind of show them underneath where we pushed the wire?
Yeah. So we go underneath the kick panel here. It's got a clip right here. It clips out here. Run the wire up through there. Run it down in between the two layers of carpet. Up in there's a nice little conduit that runs through all the way to the other side. Run it through, and then we'll show you how to make the connection on the other side. So we've ran our wire through our dash on the other side. We routed it up through the carpet all the way down to the bottom, along the bottom of the floor line. Make sure you get it well underneath the steering column and the pedal input actuators. Get it way down there. There's a clip on the very top of the dead pedal. Run the wire underneath that and then reclip it. That'll stop it from snaking back up. And then run it through the same hole that you ran the driver side power wire through, and now you've got your driver and your passenger side plus 12 wires, which are connected to the red wires on the door sill up here right next to our fuse panel. So we're going to strip these 2 wires and we're going to install our ADA circuit and then plug it into the fuse.
Very good.
Okay, so we've cleaned up a few things. We've zip tied it and made sure it doesn't rattle around against anything. We've installed the ADA circuit, and we've installed this into the 30 amp power driver seat fuse. We've used a 3 amp fuse for the door sills, but they don't even pull a single amp. And we use the 30 amp power driver seat fuse because this car is a car that's not equipped with a power seat. So even though that fuse is hot, there is no driver power seat to use. So we went ahead and used that. And the end results, I'm going to flip that light off. There we go.
And we have lights.
And then you can test it by pushing your finger on the door button.
Beautiful.
And there you go.
That is a very clean install.
Reinstall your fuse panel. And these are guaranteed for at least 5 wheel horsepower.
Yes.
If not more.
Absolutely. Now, did you want to take them underneath this dash just to kind of briefly show them where that wire is going to come in from the passenger side?
So if you come all the way up under the dash, you can see here's the carpet. This is the power, this is the steering column here. There's the throttle pedal assembly. You can see right here is where that conduit comes through. Let me see if I can pull that wire out. There we go. And it goes all the way down, tucks up underneath this panel here, drops down through the carpet behind the power pedal, all the way down about where the level of the floor mat is underneath the carpet to the dead pedal, up over the dead pedal, underneath this pull-out tab, which pulls out and snaps back in, underneath there, down around, and then up through the factory harness there. You can see that to where the fuse panel is.
Good.
There you go. How to install LED kick panels in a 2013 with Ron from GCP and Cheers 007. Have a good night.